Out of the port of Said, it is a 4-hour drive one way to the Pyramids of Giza. Now, this is a trip you would need to book through a ship excursion or a tour. Our tour guide was very informative and great to listen to on the way there. She talked about how families live together. These buildings look like they're under construction, but actually as the family continues to grow, they will simply just build on more rooms and levels. I was there right before the 2012 presidential election, so there were billboards and advertisements everywhere for the different candidates. And yes, this is the Nile River in Cairo. Almost everything we saw in the city was covered with a thick layer of dust and sand. We have birdhouses, but Egyptians have houses specifically for pigeons, like this one on the right. Our tour guide explained to us that they eat pigeons the same way that we eat chicken. And as we approached the outskirts of Cairo, you could already start to see the pyramids. It was crazy to see how much the city had grown out to them. Our tour guide also explained to us how the 3 different pyramids were for 3 different kings, the largest one being for the father, then one for the son, and the smallest for the grandson. This man shoved his way into my picture and then demanded for money. And I actually gave him some, and then he demanded for more. There were people everywhere trying to shove merchandise into your hands and then demanding for money. One man from my tour group was even grabbed and put up on a camel, and they wouldn't let him down until he paid them. I paid $30 to go into the smallest of the 3 pyramids. Now, we weren't allowed to take pictures, and there wasn't actually even really anything to see, but I guess it was worth it just for the experience. We then headed down to see the Sphinx, the guardian of the Great Pyramids. It was so much smaller than I ever would have imagined. And yes, it's true, Pizza Hut and KFC are right next to it. And of course, to get closer and get a nicer picture, you had to pass by a million more awful, aggressive vendors. The second part of our trip took us to see the Step Pyramid of Djoser at Saqqara. Now, I found this much more enjoyable because it was less crowded. There weren't crazy aggressive vendors everywhere constantly trying to hassle you into buying something, so you could explore on your own and enjoy being there without being bothered. I am so grateful to say that I have visited one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. However, it was so disappointing to have this amazing experience ruined by the overwhelming feeling of corruption and greed that I experienced from the Egyptian people. It was hard not to constantly be aware of the fact that we had to always be accompanied by a bodyguard with a machine gun across his chest. And when I got back to the ship, a part of Egypt had followed me there. It's always been on my bucket list to visit the pyramids and to have my cartouche made. And I'm lucky enough to say that I was able to cross both of those things off of my list. During the tour, we stopped at a gift shop where I was able to have my cartouche made. Now, if you're wondering what that is, a cartouche is your name written in hieroglyphics. Now, I'll be the first to say that my experience visiting Egypt was not what I had hoped for or expected. And I probably won't visit again unless maybe I have the opportunity to see the Valley of the Kings. However, I still would recommend, if you ever have the chance to visit the pyramids, to definitely do it because it is a once-in-a-lifetime experience and definitely worth it to see the pyramids in person. Have you ever visited the pyramids? What was your experience like? I would really love to hear about it. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. I can't wait to see you on my next adventure up north to the beautiful country of Norway. Until then, safe travels.